With more than 25 years' experience, at CHS Healthcare we understand what is required to choose and fit the right hoist solution. When moving and handling a person, choosing the correct ceiling hoist, standing hoist and hoist sling is important in providing appropriate support to people whose health or disability has left them with different levels of functional mobility, from completely mobile and independent to those who are entirely bedridden. In this video, we will outline what is required to choose and fit the right hoist solution. Specifically, ceiling hoist considerations in Our Ceiling Hoists, standing hoist considerations in Our Standing Hoists, and hoist sling considerations in Our Hoist Slings. CHS Healthcare is an Australian family-owned company who has specialised in patient lifting and handling solutions for over 25 years. We understand the appropriate choice of equipment will depend on a number of factors. For ceiling hoists, you have the option of a fixed or portable hoist. In making the right choice, there are a number of considerations. Is your building, home or rental property suitable for a fixed hoist? Regardless of the way your building is constructed, whether it be timber, steel or concrete for example, there are ceiling hoist installation methods that will work for your situation. There are wall-mounted or wall post options that work well with timber stud, brick or even concrete walls. They work well with multi-level applications or flat roof homes and are often considered for rental properties, as the installation method causes limited structural damage and therefore easier to make good at the end of the tenancy. There are also ceiling mounted options where you have the flexibility to incorporate curves, turntables, gates, or even recessed rail, which has more aesthetic appeal. What is your intended use? There are freestanding options, for example. If it is temporary or short term, you may want to look at a completely freestanding option, also known as a gantry hoist. A gantry hoist is similar to a ceiling hoist, where the hoist motor travels along an overhead rail, which is semi-portable or completely freestanding. These are also a good choice for rental properties or short-term accommodation, and CHS Healthcare has both purchase or hire options. Different rooms. If your ceiling hoist is required in different rooms, then a portable hoist may be more suitable. The weight of the patient and safe working loads of the equipment. Is their weight stable? Is it likely to increase? Are there multiple users? All of these considerations will impact not only the choice, but the lifespan of the hoist. How fast is the hoist? The speed of lifting is an important consideration in the use of your time. If you are lifting multiple times in a day and you can save time in each lift, you and or your carer can spend valuable time on other tasks. What type of batteries does it use? Some batteries last longer than others. How does the hoist charge? There are constant charge options where the hoist is always on charge no matter where it is in the room. There are also in-track or handset charging options where the hoist must be docked in a designated position, usually in a corner. Our ceiling hoists have safe working loads ranging from 200 kilograms to 500 kilograms. We have an extensive range of fixed hoists to suit your weight requirements. Have manual and powered options. Our ceiling hoists work within a very customisable system. XY systems, gates, turntables, curves, and a variety of tracking options, including recess tracking. All options to cater for your individual circumstances. Come in both fixed and portable options. For standing hoists, making the right choice requires a number of considerations. The weight of the patient and safe working loads of the equipment. As with ceiling hoists, standing hoists have different safe working load capacities. Is there enough circulation space to manoeuvre equipment? The weight of the equipment, especially if you have carpet where heavy equipment with the load of a patient can be difficult to move. The functional mobility of the patient. To safely use a standing hoist, you must be able to at least partially weight bear and have good core and upper body strength. Do I have the clearance required to get a hoist through a doorway into a bathroom or bedroom? Allowance for the differences in patient heights. If transportability is important, you need to understand how easily the equipment can be folded and stored for transportability. As with everything, some models are easier than others. Our standing hoists are in two product types, standing hoists and floor lifters. Our standing hoists provide up to 200 kilograms safe working load. Our floor lifters provide safe working loads ranging from 150 kilograms to 330 kilograms. Our standing hoists and floor lifters are a lighter weight aluminium construction, approximately 10 kilograms lighter than their steel equivalent. Have twin sealed caster wheels, which helps prevent wheels from digging into the carpet, making them easy to push around. Come with a large range of standard and customisable slings which cater for different attachment methods, keyhole or loop. Our slings also cater for different patient heights, with 3 keyhole options on the slings and 2 pin options on the hoist itself. Have foot and adjustable shin plates with individual leg belts for comfort and security. They also allow for manoeuvrability up and down and pivot movement backwards and forwards to establish comfort. Our standing hoists promote a more natural standing angle. As you can see here, by leaning forward and pushing down with your feet, the standing hoist is able to easily and safely lift the patient. At CHS Healthcare, we also offer a self-transfer option with our independent lifter transfer aid. It can be set up independently with adjustable leg straps for maximum comfort and preferred positioning for the patient. It also removes the need for a sling, providing independence and freedom to various transfer situations. As you can see here, the patient is able to easily transfer themselves with the independent lifter.
Hello, I'm Lloyd Beer from CHS Healthcare, and I'd just like to touch briefly on choosing the right sling type for your client. This is a very common sling, a general purpose head support style of sling. They can come with and without head support, and this sling is designed, as the name suggests, it's designed for general transfers, so chair to bed, bed to chair type transfers. They're a very supportive sling, very easy to fit, and then we also have a range of hygiene slings. These slings are designed for access, for toileting or showering. They're also very easy to fit, but they aren't quite as supportive as a general purpose sling. So someone would generally require pretty good muscle tone to be able to tolerate one of these slings, as they do take a bit of weight through your shoulders. You can also get this sling in head support, with head support as well, which offers a lot more support than the non-head support version. The reason you may choose different sling types can depend on what sort of transfer you're doing. For example, if you're transferring from bed to chair, then something like a general purpose sling is fine. It offers a lot of support, including head support, and it doesn't rely on you having much muscle tone. If, however, you're doing a transfer that you require access, for example, if you're transferring onto a toilet or a shower commode, then you might want to use a hygiene style of sling, as this offers access for cleaning, showering, toileting, and also adjusting clothing as required. Now I'm going to run over some tips on choosing the right size sling. Obviously when you're fitting a sling, the label and the grab handles go on the outside of the sling, and the label's centered on the back of the sling. With a general purpose sling, this one has head support. With a general purpose sling, you want to make sure that the seam is running from the coccyx or the base of the spine, and then you want the head support to be sitting just above the patient's head. You don't want the seam sitting sort of mid-head or below, as the head support will drop down and dig in. So to fit the sling, basically you just need to slide this down behind the back until this seam is touching the cushion. You don't need to feed the sling underneath the patient, just touching the cushion. And then once you've done that, you bring the leg strap down. You want to make sure that seam is touching the cushion across the back, around the corner, and down the thighs. And you do that on both sides. And then at this point, just check that the leg straps are even, so that you know you've got the sling centered around the hips. It's very important to get the sling centered around the hips, and the top of the sling will fall into place. And then you just bring the leg straps underneath. Make sure you keep the leg straps nice and flat so they don't dig in. Don't let them bunch up. And then just check they're even again, and you can cross them over, cross the leg straps over to keep the legs together. If you don't cross the leg straps, it's still quite safe, but your legs will splay. Once you've brought the hoist across, on the sling loops, there'll always be different loop options depending on the brand. Some have 3 options, some have 4 or 5. The point of these loop options is to lift somebody in an upright or a reclined position. Generally, if you want to lift someone in an upright position, which is probably the most common, you'd go a longer loop option on the legs. So we'll use the red strap on the legs, and then on the shoulders, we'll go a shorter loop option. So I'm using the blue, which is the medium option here. And then at this point, we'll just take up the tension on the hoist. And then before we lift off, just do our safety check, make sure the colours are the same and that the loops are on properly. So we've got red and red and blue and blue. Your loops have to be the same colour left to right, but not front to back. And then also just make sure your sling's not caught on the chair anywhere. Make sure there's no seat belts on or shoulder harnesses, or the feet aren't strapped in. And then we're good to go. The other thing with this, there's a lot of different yokes out there. This particular hoist has a 4-point yoke, meaning that the leg straps, instead of coming back to a central point like they would on a 2-point yoke, it opens the sling up and gives you a bit more room in the sling. The leg straps don't ride up the leg. They go vertically to the hoist, and it gives you greater head clearance as well. And then at this point, we're good to go. Now I'm going to fit a hygiene sling. Just make sure the torso band is on the inside of the sling. And then again, this just slides down behind your back. Obviously a hygiene sling doesn't go down as low as the previous general purpose sling. And this roll of padding comes under the arms, the torso band comes through. Make sure your arms are on the outside of the sling so that the padding is underneath your arms. This is very important. And then fit the torso band low and tight. And then the leg straps come through. Making sure they're sitting nice and flat again, and then bring them through and cross. The CHS Healthcare offers a huge range of slings, from the standard general purpose head support and the hygiene slings, right through to walking slings, amputee slings, hammock slings, a huge range. We can also custom make slings to your specifications and needs as well. And in addition to that, we have a range of in situ or leave-in slings. These slings can be left in place in the chair if you've got a moulded backrest or a reclined chair where it's difficult to remove the sling and then reapply it, depending on your client, of course. But there is a couple of different fabric options. We have the Parasilk, which is very cool, very breathable, very easy to slide in place. These slings come with head support, which can be adjusted and tensioned. They also come with boning in the head support, which is removable. They're a very supportive sling. And we also have Superfine Plus, which is also an in situ breathable fabric, which is suitable for bathing and showering also. So it can be left in place in a commode chair or shower chair, for example.
Our services include site and home visits, where we can inspect your site and home setting and advise on the most appropriate installation method and products to suit your individual requirements. In some circumstances, we can assist with trialling equipment in your site or home setting to ensure it is practically suitable. In this way, you can experience clearance, circulation, manoeuvrability, comfort and support. In addition to ceiling and standing hoists and hoist slings, CHS Healthcare specialises in patient lifting rail systems and bariatric solutions, as well as a complete range of therapy baths, change tables, privacy screens and much more. We can design, supply, install, train and maintain patient lifting and handling equipment Australia-wide. Whether you are a state-of-the-art hospital, aged care facility, community centre, school or domestic location, we're here for you.